What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, and you tuned in to another edition of my vlog. I want to say thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for your support. You know I'm all about that positivity and that motivation. And I had an epiphany, man. I was thinking about something and how powerful visual media is, social media, just certain propaganda. And I thought, like, what if a lot of these influential rappers who have become successful, who have these large followings, what if they gradually change their message of hustling the streets, their perception of women, drugs, prison? What if they changed their dialogue and they started talking about buying real estate, acquiring businesses, taking a trade, becoming self-employed, opening up banks? And they showed in the videos two family households, not a woman by herself, but a man and a woman together, taking her kid, maybe dropping them off at school, or showing the family riding up to a house and they meet a real estate agent and they look through the house, and then later on the video shows them buying the house or living in the house, or maybe going to an office and signing paperwork, and the next thing you know, you see the guy, he's behind a desk and he's running a business, with a dope beat, with some fly lyrics. But these are the videos that were being produced. Imagine how that will change the perception of the black community, the young black male, and also the young generation coming up as far as what they can and can't achieve. We know that a lot of people have made it out the hood through various means. Most likely somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that was, a drug dealer or a hustler. And, this has been the topic of many rap songs. But that's a guy who's rapping about the drug dealer. What if he rapped about the guy who owned the convenience store, or the guy who was a property owner, or the guy who had his own garage? I mean, you can make a video where you pull up to a guy's garage where he's working on old schools or dunks or exotic cars, and you see people in there who are happy, who are producing, or you drove out to some factory where a guy had looked like he was doing something as far as maybe manufacturing coffee, and you see he had his home face on the coffee or whatever the case. I mean, if you started doing things of that nature subtly in these videos, which wouldn't take away from the message, as far as, because the lyrics and the beat are still the same, but you would have young people being programmed for a different agenda. You would have young people striving for something higher than just the neighborhood block, or dodging the police. These videos that you show the police, you show the guys on the corner, you see him running. I mean, damn, so naturally you're programming a black guy to run as soon as he sees the cops. And that's what these kids are emulating, having guns without permits, and I know there are people out there who got legitimate permits to carry guns. There's a lot of black people who have concealed carry, but there's a lot of other kids who don't understand the concept, so they're doing it without a permit, and then they're catching felonies, which are going to affect them down the line. And I was talking with a friend, and he made a good analogy how you have a butterfly in one hand and you have a spider in another hand. When you look at the butterfly you think of oh man, it's so pretty. You want to save it. You want to kind of let it fly away. You want to let it spread its wings. You have a spider, you're trying to think about how can you kill it? How can you get rid of it? It can hurt you. It bites, you know, and that's how they have projected a lot of the minorities, the spider. So there's nothing you're trying to save about a spider. So therefore, when you look at the black community, the Latino community, and you think about just death and negativity, drugs, violence, you think like, well, man, let's just wipe it out. There is no saving that. And that's where change needs to take place. That's where we have to change that perception. And it's not going to be overnight. It's going to take years and years and a lot of effort by those who have access, you know, those who have the people to execute, you know, this new look, this new agenda. But I'm just saying, think about it, man. I grew up in an era where, you know, NWA was like the rave, you know what I mean? Too Short, Spice One, CMW, Public Enemy, Paris, Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD, Special Ed, King Son, you know, all these different people, man. And it was a lot of conscious rap back then, and then gangster rap kind of came into play. And then, you know, gang banging at that time became a major role in the communities. And, you know, now the music, you know, you see some people trying to exploit the gang banging, but now it's a lot of feminism, you know, the demasculinization of the male, you know, you don't say male or female. It's just, you know, come on, man. You standing up. You're a damn male. You're born with a wang wang, man. My son, you're my son. You're a man. You do man things, man. You don't look at another man and want to give him lips. You look at a little girl and want to kiss her. You play hide and go seek with her. You know, you don't. You know, you're messing up these little young kids, man. You know, trying to be socially forgiving. Come on, man. Save me with the bull, man. You messing up these little boys. You messing them up. I see it, man. The women are taking over as far as in the generations coming up, because the men can't stand up for themselves. You know, you see it all the time. Guys sitting in the car, woman pumping gas. Guy sitting in the car, woman changing a tire. Something happened. The guy is sitting in the corner. The woman's explaining. It's a damn shame. But all this is, it ties into, going back to what I said, perception. So I know I cover a lot, and I talked about everything from just the rap videos to how we're perceived, to how our young men are being demasculinized. But this all ties into what's being projected out there in social media and in a lot of this music, man. You know, young men not being men, you know, being very feminized. And, you know, to each his own. When you become a grown person, you can make your choices, but don't confuse somebody, man. Don't get somebody, you know, especially young people who don't even know, who are trying to learn. And you're creating this messed up culture. And it's the same thing, whether it's the demasculinization of a young man or whether it's the propaganda pushing him into becoming a drug dealer and into becoming a young killer. Slide. With the gun, ski mask on. You're setting them up to go get killed. You're setting them up to go to the penitentiary. You're setting them up for him to fail. And in process, you think you're getting rich off of it, but you're really harming your audience, because eventually there won't be no audience. They'll all be locked up. They'll all be confused and in a state where they're just hooked on whatever drugs because they can't get a job, they can't make it in life, and they've been programmed to just fail. And that's what you're doing, man. And so I can't tell people what to produce. I know there's a formula to all this stuff, man, and people are just doing what they do to make the money, and they don't really, it doesn't pertain to them because they're exploiting it at the time, and it's like, who cares? But I say it because I see it and I care, and I know I can't help everybody. I'm not trying to help everybody. There might be maybe a handful of people who watch this video who think that this is going to be something for them to reflect on and say, hey, you know what? I see what he's talking about, and let me see if I can talk to my children and give them a different perspective. But for the most part, man, I know, you're not going to stop listening to rap. I listen to rap. I listen to gangster rap. I listen to the beat. But I can discern the lyrics from the beat, and I know that I'm not going to get caught up trying to put a ski mask on to go pick up a pistol. I did that already. And it got me 10 years in the feds. And, I bought into a perception, was hoodwinked. Now I come out and I try to share so that others will kind of get an idea of maybe what I went through and make a better choice. But you just go back to the analogy of a butterfly and a spider, and how people look at spiders and how people look at butterflies. And when you put together the music video with the spiders, you want to go and destroy the whole video, right? You don't want a bunch of spiders around your house. You're not going to let spiders come into your door. You see a butterfly that flew into your house, you're not going to necessarily want to kill it. You want to capture and release it. Do you want to capture and release a spider? Do you want to capture and release a black man? Or do you want to lock him away? Do you want to lock away the Mexican, the Hispanic? You tell me, man. This message is going out all around the world as far as how people perceive other people and why we have so much judgment. People say, oh, the police are killing all the blacks and minorities. Oh, we're killing each other first. We've already killed each other when we put the message out there. Young so-and-so, big whoop-de-wop, and and then the message after that is being strapped up and rolling on your enemies. And really, I don't know what enemies you have, because if you don't own nothing, you're not producing anything, you have no equity in anything you have around you. You have no oil wells, you have no diamonds, you have no minerals, you have no crops, you have no cattle, you have no property, you have nothing. You have no steel, you have no commercial goods, you have nothing but your mama's house or your grandmama's house or your whatever house, but you don't have nothing. So why are these people your enemy? I'm just putting it out there, man. I'm not the smartest cat. I try to educate myself as much as possible. And I try to share with you guys, because I know there is no OGs lacing you guys up anymore. So I got to step up. I have a duty to step my game up to y'all. So think about it. Put it in perspective. Let me know what you think. Share this video. Let's make it go viral. And pass it on to your rap buddies. And ask them when they make the next video, can they try to do so without showing the police in the background, or a pistol, or some drugs, or some woman being exploited. Let's see if we can do that. And I'm not saying, I don't like a woman with a fat ass. I don't like, pretty girl. But I mean, as far as just exploiting them, because I know if she has a kid by somebody, I'd want her kid to have a dad. Regardless, I'd want her child to have a dad. I'd want her to take care of her child and have that child grow up in a proper household. So, look at the big picture, y'all. Wake up, man. Big Kirk 916.